Today, we're talking about the development of repetition, why this is such an important characteristic and skill to begin to develop, what it's going to offer you, and how to put it into place. If you haven't been able to tell already, we're always talking about a specific skill, a specific tool, a specific strategy, why it's important, right? Historically, what it will do from you, and then how do we put this into place? How do we put it into practice? This also links up with the idea of repetition. I don't know why I'm using my finger so much today, but we're doing it. So, repetition, the ability to do something over and over and over and over again. When I've talked about goals in the past, right? I've talked about the idea of the one big domino or digging one hole to China, okay? If you're gonna dig a hole to China, you probably want to dig in the same place, okay? Now, what does repetition teach us? Repetition teaches us that the more that we show up to do something, the more skilled we become at it, the deeper we get into the practice, and the more that the practice will offer us. Repetition is the act of being able to dig in the same spot over and over and over and over and over again. And what happens when you dig in the same spot over and over and over again? You begin to uncover the gifts, you begin to uncover the gold, you begin to uncover the jewels, all of these things that we're trying to learn. Repetition also, and this happens with a lot of different skills and a lot of different things that we're learning, repetition also helps you build commitment, because the more you repeat an act, commitment also grows with it. That is definitely something that we want to be able to learn, to want to be able to take on. So repetition is going to, quote unquote, sharpen the sword. The more that you sharpen that sword on a piece of whetstone, right, the sharper and sharper it gets. So then when you go to apply it to something, you have this skill that's been honed, that's been sharpened, and your results that you're going to get from all of that commitment, the time that you spent sharpening that sword, repeating things over and over again, is going to get you, like I said, big different actions, big different results. So, repetition, the ability to show up to be able to do something over and over and over again. Let's use an example here. Let's say I took on the practice of meditation. Let's say I did it once and never did it again. You might have a nice experience meditating. You might have an experience of just like, oh, it really didn't do anything for me. I didn't have a peaceful mind when I did it. That's because you just began. And when you have that mindset of the beginner, right? The mindset of the person that is just starting, you have to recognize that you're gonna have to repeat something hundreds to thousands of times. Even they have the concept of 10,000 hours for those people who really want to be able to master something. You're gonna have to repeat something hundreds, thousands, 10,000s of times to really, really, really get good at it, okay? To really begin to train your mind, to make it calm and peaceful and to stand at attention and not create all these fires for you, you need to meditate. But not just once, not just 5 times, not just 10 times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, 10,000s of times. And every single time you meditate, you get deeper into the practice, the more gifts come from that. You don't get the gifts by trying something once, and you should be really worried if you try something once and you expect yourself to get all of these wonderful things just from trying something once. It's not like we're eating sushi for the first time here, guys. This is about development of skills in your life, and everybody has different skills that they need to develop in their life. Mine, right, was focusing on one thing. But another person's might be their negative self-talk. Another person might be their ability to commit to something. Everyone is different. Everyone has strengths. Everyone has weaknesses. If we want to turn those weaknesses into strengths, you must repeat over and over and over and over and over again. So some of the people that I work with in this group who we do things one-on-one, we have one-on-one phone calls together, I give them practices. The ones who really succeed in building a competency are the ones that throw themselves into the practices. The ones that stay stuck dealing with the same things over and over again are the ones that don't commit to the practice. You don't want to be stuck in the same thing that you've been doing. You gotta do something different, and that's why I'm here. I'm the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. So, if you have something in your life that you want to work on, whether it's fitness, whether it's your health, whether it's your body, it doesn't matter what it is, repetition is what is going to make the change. Like I put in my Instagram post today, you reap what you sow. If you sow the seeds of meditation, you will reap the rewards of much more peace in your life. And you don't just get what you sowed, you get much more. You reap much more, okay? So, repetition, repetition, repetition. Pick one practice. I want you to repeat it for 30, 60, 90, 100, a year. One practice, and see what happens. See what happens with that practice as time goes on. You're going to find that you become much more skilled at it. You have much more of a presence when you actually decide to commit to something, and you're gonna have that thing for you begin to unlock, to begin to change. But don't just dig a little bit and then move on. You gotta dig a lot to be able to actually get to the point of, oh, this isn't working. Most people just quit after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Let's say if you quit after 1,000 times, then we can talk.